Let's meet some of these happy insured customers. Maria has Blue Shield, and Diane, Horizon Blue Cross. BCS insures Laurel, and Carolyn has Cigna. And it's a good thing that they're all fully covered.
I ended up being diagnosed with retroperitoneal cancer.
Brain tumor. Breast cancer.
Brain tumor on the right temporal lobe.
Because they were insured, they got the red carpet treatment at the doctor's office.
She requested for me to see a neurologist.
The way they were going to treat it was to remove it.
Surgery was scheduled for December 9th.
There is a test that you can take that will show whether or not you actually would benefit from chemo.
Oh, they got their treatment all right, but not before battling with their insurance companies.
They were investigating whether or not this was a pre-existing condition.
It's not medically necessary.
They claim that it's experimental.
We don't consider that life-threatening.
Diane died from her non-life-threatening tumor. Laurel's cancer is now spread throughout her body. Her experimental test proved that Carolyn needed chemo. While vacationing in Japan, Maria became ill and got the MRI that Blue Shield of California had refused to approve. The doctors in Japan told her that she had a brain tumor. Blue Shield had said repeatedly she didn't have a tumor. That's when she said, "Well, I'm pretty sure I have a lawyer."
March 13th, 2003. I'm going to direct your attention to Exhibit 1. Please describe for me what it is.
It is a denial for referral to an ophthalmologist.
Is it your signature on the document?
Yes.
I'd like to direct your attention to Exhibit 2.
This is a denial of request for referral for a magnetic resonance imaging test of the brain.
It has your signature?
Yes.
Doctor, directing your attention to Exhibit 3. Please review this document.
This is a denial of a referral to a neurosurgeon.
Can you explain for me how you came to sign the denial letter?
This is a standard signature that's put on all denial letters.
Is that your signature or is that a stamp?
That is a stamp.
Did you ever see the denial letter before your signature was stamped on it?
No, but the denial letters are fundamentally the same. They're the denial letters that are sent out.
The answer is no.
No. All right.
The very definition of a good medical director was somebody who can save the company a lot of money.
Dr. Linda Pino was a medical reviewer for Humana. She left her job because she didn't like their way of doing business.
I was told when I started that I had to keep a 10% denial. And they were actually giving us reports on a weekly basis that would have all the cases we reviewed, the percent approved and the percent denied, and our actual percentage denial rate. And then there would be another report that compared me to all the other medical reviewers. The doctor with the highest percent of denials was actually going to get a bonus.
Really? I mean, so like you as a doctor working for the HMO, if you denied more people health care, you got a bonus?
So that was the way they had set the system up. Any payment for a claim is referred to as a medical loss. That's the terminology the industry uses. I mean, when you don't spend money on somebody, you deny their care, or you make a decision that brings money in and you don't have to spend it. It's a savings to the company.
Dear Mike, I work in the industry.
I worked for an HMO.
I started to get hundreds of letters of a different sort from people who work inside the healthcare industry.
I want to tell you,
they'd seen everything.
I hate HMOs.
And they were fed up with it.
System.
Health insurance companies suck. Flat suck.
Like Becky Melky, who was in charge of keeping sick people away from one of America's top insurance companies.
I work in a call center, so people call in and they're asking for insurance quotes. There are certain pre-existing conditions, basically industry-wide, that will not be covered. Diabetes, heart disease, certain forms of cancer, that if you have these conditions, you are most likely not going to get your health insurance.
How long is this list of conditions that would make you ineligible?
Be a really long list. Be a long list.
This is Tarsha Harris. Blue Cross didn't deny her treatment and actually approved her operation. But then they discovered that in the distant past, she had had a yeast infection.
apparently it's common. Men, women can get a yeast infection. So was prescribed the yeast infection cream, general cream, and it went away.
She later applied for health insurance, and that's what you're supposed to be disclosing. Serious ailments. The yeast infection was independent and it's not a serious ailment. There was nothing else she could have done. It wasn't until they were going to have to spend money that they looked. If they'd taken 5 minutes beforehand and wanted to clear up the yeast infection, they could have looked at her medical records, they could have talked to her doctor.
Because of the undisclosed yeast infection, Blue Cross dropped Tarsha Harris.
She thinks she's put this behind her. And then Blue Cross changes their mind, tells the doctors, we're taking the money back, go get the money from Tarsha.
The fact of the matter is, it was a yeast infection. That's all it was. I'm still a little bitter because I don't trust insurance companies now. To me, it seems they're always going to be looking for a way out. You know, what happened to helping the person that's sick? Don't make their problems worse.
This is Lee Einer. If they weren't able to weed you out in the application process, or deny you the care your doctor said you needed, and somehow ended up paying for the operation, they send in Lee, their hitman. His job is to get the company's money back any way he can. All he has to do is find one slip-up on your application or a pre-existing condition you didn't know you had.
We're going to go after this like it's a murder case. And I mean a whole unit dedicated to going through your health history for the last 5 years, looking for anything that would indicate that you concealed something, you misrepresented something, so that they can cancel the policy or jack the rate so high that you can't pay them. And if we couldn't find anything you didn't disclose on the application, you can still get hit with a pre-existing denial, because you don't even have to have sought medical treatment for it. In some states, it's legal to have what's called a prudent person pre-existing condition, and that's a mouthful, I know, but what that says is if prior to your insurance kicking in, you had any symptom which would incline a normally prudent person to have sought medical care, then the condition of which that symptom was a symptom is excluded. I know. It's labyrinthine, isn't it? But that's how it works. They're supposed to be fair and even-handed. But with an insurance company, it's their friggin' money. So it's not unintentional. It's not a mistake. It's not an oversight. You're not slipping through the cracks. Somebody made that crack and swept you towards it. And the intent is to maximize profits.
I applied for health net insurance for Jason. They rejected him because of his height and weight. Jason's 6 feet tall and 130 pounds.
That's what it's like to be rejected.
I applied for healthcare through Blue Cross Blue Shield, and they told me that my body mass index was too high. I'm 5'1", I weigh 175 pounds.
That's what it's like to be rejected.
Sometimes you know ahead of time that they're going to be declined at the end of the application, and they're like, God, you know, like one time I had a couple, and they were so happy to get, oh, I'm gonna start crying. They were so happy that I took them through this application. And the husband was late for work. And the wife said to him, well, don't worry, baby, it's gonna be okay because we have health insurance now. And when I looked at the end of the application, I could tell they were both going to get declined because of their health conditions. And they were so happy. And I thought, oh God, they're gonna get that phone call in a couple weeks telling them that they're not eligible for insurance. And I just felt so bad because I just really thought, and I knew, and I couldn't say anything to them. I just felt like crap. And that's why I'm just such a bitch on the phone to people, because I don't want to get to know them. I don't want to know about their lives. I just want to get in and get out and get done with it because I can't take the stress of it.
Looking back, I don't know that I killed anybody. Did I do harm in people's lives? Yeah. Hell yeah. I haven't worked for insurance companies for a long time, and I don't think that really serves to atone for my participation in that mess. I am glad I'm out of it, though.